Hello guys, this is John Ayala, and I'm here with a free sample, according to the iPhone, of the book Monster by Walter D. Myers. So here we go. We're starting with the prologue here. The best time to cry is at night, when the lights are out and someone is being beaten up and screaming for help. That way, even if you sniffle a little, they won't hear you. Anybody knows that you're crying, they'll start talking about it, and soon it'll be your turn to get beat up when the lights go out. There's a mirror over the street sink in my cell. It's 6 inches high and scratched with the names of some guys who were here before me. When I look into the small rectangle, I see a face looking back at me, but I don't recognize it. It doesn't look like me. I couldn't have changed that much in a few months. I wonder if I would look like myself when the trial is over. Then, this morning at breakfast, a guy got hit in the face with a tray. Somebody said some little thing and somebody else got mad. There was blood all over the place. The guards came over, they made us line up against the wall. The guy who was hit, they made sit in the table while they waited for another guard to bring them rubber gloves. The gloves came and the guards put them on, handcuffed the guy, and then took him to the dispensary. He was still bleeding pretty bad. They say you get used to being in jail, but I don't see how. Every morning I wake up and I am surprised to be here. Real life outside was real, but anything in here was just the opposite. We sleep with strangers, wake up with strangers, and go to a bathroom in front of strangers. They're strangers, but they still find the reasons to hurt each other. Sometimes I feel like I had walked into the middle of a movie. It's a strange movie with no plot and no beginning. The movie is in black and white and grainy. Sometimes the camera moves in so close that you can not tell what is going on, and you just listen to sounds and guess. I've seen movies of prisons, but never one like this. This is not a movie about bars or locked doors. It's about being alone when you're not really alone, and about being scared all the time. I think to get used to this, I would have to give up what I think is real and take up something else. I wish I could make sense of it. Maybe I can make my own movie. I could write it out and play it in my head. I could block out the scenes like we did in school. The film will be the story of my life. No, not my life, but of this experience. I'll write it down in the notebook. They let me keep it. They let me keep. I called it. It was the lady who was the prosecutor called me Monster. Monday, July the 6th. Monster. Fade in. Interior. Early morning in Cell Block D, Manhattan Detention Center. Camera goes slowly down grim gray corridor. There are sounds of inmates yelling from cell to cell, and much of it is obscene. Most of the voices are clearly black or Hispanic. Camera stops and slowly turns toward the cell. Interior cell. 16-year-old Steve Harmon is sitting on the edge of a metal cot, head in hands. He is thin, brown-skinned. On the cot next to him are the suit and tie he has to wear to court for the start of his trial. Cut to Ernie, another prisoner, sitting on John pants down. Cut to sunset, another prisoner putting on t-shirt. Cut to Steve, putting blanket over his head as screen goes dark. Voiceover. Ain't no use funning a blanket on there over your head, man. You can't cut this out. This is reality. This is the real deal. Voiceover continues with anonymous prisoner explaining how the detention center is the real thing. As she does, words appear on the screen just like the opening credits of the movie Star Wars, rolling from the bottom of the screen and shrinking until they are brought on the top of the screen before rolling off into space. Monster, the story of my miserable life, starring Steve Harmon. Produced by Steve Harmon. Directed by Steve Harmon. Credits continue to roll. The incredible story of how one guy's life was turned around by a few events and how he might spend the rest of his life behind bars. Told as it actually happened. Written and directed by Steve Harmon. Featuring Sandra Petroselli as a dedicated prosecutor. Kathy O'Brien as the defense attorney with doubts. James King as the dog. Richard Bobo Evans as the rat. Osvaldo Cruz, member of the Diablos, as the tough guy wannabe. Laurel Henry as the witness. Jose Delgado, he that found the body. And starring 16-year-old Steve Harmon as a boy on trial for murder, filmed at the Manhattan Detention Center. Set design, handcuffs, and prison outfits by the state of New York. Voiceover. Yo Harmon, you gonna eat something? Come on and get your breakfast, man. I'll take your eggs if you don't want them. Want them? Steve subdued. I'm not hungry. Sunset. His trial starts today. He up for the big one. I know how that feels. Cut to interior. Corrections Department van. Through the bars at the rear of the van, we see people going about the business of their lives in downtown New York. There are men collecting garbage, a female traffic officer motioning for a taxi to make a turn. Students on their way to school. Few people notice that the van as it makes its way from the detention center to the courthouse. Cut to prisoners, handcuffed, coming from back of van. Steve is carrying a notebook. He is dressed in the suit and tie we saw on the couch. He is seen only briefly as he is herded through the heavy doors of the courthouse. Fade out as last prisoner from the van enters rear of the courthouse. Fade in, interior courthouse. We are in small room used for prisoner lawyer interviews. The guard sits at the desk behind Steve. Kathy O'Brien, Steve's lawyer, is petite, red-haired, and freckled. She's all business as she talks to Steve. O'Brien, let me make sure you understand what's going on. Both you and this King character are on trial for felony murder. Felony murder is as serious as it gets. Sandra Petroselli is the prosecutor, and she's good. They're pushing for the death penalty, which is really bad. The jury might think they're doing you a big favor by giving you life in prison. So you better take this trial very, very seriously. When you're in court, you sit there and you pay attention. You let the jury know that you think this case is as serious as they do. You don't turn and wave to any of your friends. It's alright to acknowledge your mother. I have to go and talk to the judge. This trial will begin in a few minutes. Is there anything you want to ask me before it starts? Steve, you think you are going to win? O'Brien, seriously. It probably depends on what you mean by win. Cut to interior. Holding room. We see Steve sitting at one end of bench against the opposite wall, dressed in sloppy-looking suit, is 23-year-old James King, the other man on trial. King looks older than 23. He looks over at Steve with a hard look, and we see Steve looks away. Two guards sit at a table away from the prisoners who are handcuffed. The camera finds the guards in a medium suit shot. They have their breakfast in aluminum takeout trays that contain eggs, sausages, and potatoes. A black female stenographer pours coffee over for herself and the guards. Stenographer: I hope this case lasts 2 weeks. I can sure use the money. 6 days, maybe 7. It's a motion case. They go through the motions, then they lock them up. Ernton looks off camera towards Steve. Ain't that right, Bright Eyes? Cut to Steve, who is seated on a low bench. He is handcuffed to a U-boat, put in the bench for that purpose. Steve looks away from the guard. Cut to door. It opens, and court clerk looks in. 2 minutes. Cut to guards who hurriedly finish records. Stenographer takes Racine into courtroom. They unshackle Steve and they take him towards the door. Cut to Steve. It's made to sit at one table. At another table we see King and 2 attorneys. Steve sits alone. A guard stands behind him. There are one or two spectators in the court. Then 4 more enter. Close up of Steve Harmon. The fear is evident on his face. MS. People are getting ready for the trial to begin. Kathy O'Brien sits next to Steve. O'Brien, how are you doing? Steve. I'm scared. O'Brien. Good, you should be. Anyway, just remember what we've been talking about. The judge is going to rule on the motion that King's lawyer made to suppress Cruz's testimony and a few other things. Steve, let me tell you what my job is here. My job is to make sure the law works for you as well as against you, and to make you a human being in the eyes of the jury. Your job is to help me. Any questions you have, write them down, and I'll try to answer them. What are you doing there? I'm writing this whole thing down as a movie. O'Brien. Whatever. Make sure you pay attention. Close attention. Voiceover courtyard. All rise. The judge enters and sits behind the bench. He is tall and thin. He pushes his fingers through the wisps of white hair and looks over the courtroom before sitting. He is a 60-year-old New York judge and already looks bored with the case. The court guard signals for people to sit. Prosecution ready? Sandra Petroselli, the prosecutor, stands. She is dressed in a gray business suit. She looks intense while still being attractive. Her hair and eyes are dark. Ready, Your Honor. Defense? Ace of Rings, the lead counsel for the defense of James King, stands. He is dressed in a dark blue suit and a light blue tie. His eyes are also blue and his hair is white. Breaks. Ready. O'Brien. Ready, Your Honor. Judge. All right. I'm ruling this kid's testimony is admissible. You can bring up your motions relative to that ruling this afternoon or if there's a break. Hope everyone had a good 4th of July. Briggs, the usual barbecue and a softball game that reminded me I can't run anymore. O'Brien, with all that fireworks, it's my least favorite holiday. Judge, bring in the jury. Cut to the film workshop at Stuyvesant High School. A film on the small screen is just ending. It is a class project and the camera is shaky. We watch as a girl on the screen slowly away. Screen goes black, then dazzling white, then normal as lights go on. We see Mr. Sawicki, film club mentor, and 9 students who are casually dressed. Sawicki, in a droid competition, the ending would have hurt this piece, but otherwise it was interesting. Any comments? We see Steve raising his hand, looking much the same as he does in court. Steve, I liked the ending. Sawicki, I didn't say it was bad one, but wasn't it predictable? You need to predict without predicting. You know what I mean? When you make a film, you leave an impression on the viewers. It's kind of to serve as a kind of jury for your film. If you make your film predictable, they'll make up their minds about it long before it's over. And that's the end of the free sample from my iPhone of this book called Monster. See you around. Bye.